Hey, everybody. I hope everybody can see me. I am streaming live on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And I hope y'all are ready because tonight we are talking about going forward when you feel like giving up. So if you are in that space, you need to stay tuned because that's what we're talking about today. Welcome to Heal, Thrive, and Win Wednesday with Defiant Women Win. And tonight, again, I'm talking about going forward when you feel like giving up. So if you've made any kind of decision for yourself or set any kind of goal for yourself, but you've gotten to a point where you're struggling to keep moving forward, and I'm looking at both cameras, I want you to really tune in because whether it's a professional decision or goal, maybe you made a decision to start a business or leave your job or ask for a raise. Maybe it's a personal decision um, where you are. I'm sorry, I'm distracted for 1 second. I want to make sure that I'm showing all the things that I'm supposed to be showing. There we go. Okay. So whether it's again a professional decision that you've made and you're struggling to keep going, whether it's a personal decision like going back to school, losing weight, and now that you're struggling, you're in the middle of that, and you're having some kind of struggles. Or a decision to heal. This is what I don't forget all the women out here in our community that are struggling to heal from heartbreak or walking away from a toxic relationship. Tonight is for you too. Also, if you're making this decision to even trust yourself, to give yourself permission to do you, that you need to be here as well. I'm gonna wave to people who are waving. I'm so excited about tonight. So if you've made any decision to make a change and move forward in any meaningful way in your life, it is easy to get to a point where you feel frustrated and exhausted and ready to quit. But I have three real good points for you to help you keep moving forward when you feel like giving up. And these points I got from the scripture, Galatians chapter 6, verse 19. And it says, don't get weary in well doing. It speaks directly to giving up. Don't get weary in well doing because in the proper season, you will reap a harvest if you don't give up. That word right there got me through a critical moment. But before I go into the 3 points and go further into tonight, I want you to know that I am giving away free Defiant Women Win merch, right? I'm giving away the t-shirt tonight, and I'm giving away a signed copy of my book, Defiant Women of Faith. It's a 52-week devotional, and I'm giving it away to women who are signed up both on our Facebook page and women who are signed up or subscribed to our YouTube channel. So if you want this lovely shirt, if you want a copy of Defiant Women of Faith, all you have to do is make sure by 12 midnight tonight, because that's when I'm going to select the winner, make sure that you are signed up for our Facebook group and that you are signed up. You subscribe to our YouTube channel. That's all you have to do. I will contact you, get your information, and I will personally sign your book and mail you out the copy of the shirt and the book. So now, because I don't want to keep you long, I want to jump right into these tips to keep you going when you feel like giving up. So this is going to be an interactive session. So I want you to join me. So tell me where you are in this process of struggling to keep going when you feel like giving up. If you are struggling to move forward on a decision that you've made, put a 1 in the chat or the comments. Again, if you are struggling to move forward on a decision that you made for yourself, put a 1 in the chat or in the comment and let me know if you are struggling. Oh, okay. And 2, the people that I want to put the 2 in the chat is people who are struggling and you don't feel like you're getting anywhere. If you feel if you've been struggling and you really don't feel like you're gaining any traction, you're getting anywhere, I want you to put a 2 in the chat, in the comments, because I want to know where everybody is on this journey of trying to move forward and you feel like I'm just at the door of quitting and I'm about to tap out. The third group of people that I want to see if you're on this chat tonight. If you are questioning the decision that you've made for yourself, and if you're saying to yourself, I'm ready to throw in the towel, if that is you, put a 3 in the chat or in the comments. So let me know where you are. If you've made a decision, if you're struggling to keep going, and if you're just ready to quit, you should be a 1, 2, or 3. And I want to know who you are right now. In full transparency, I'm doing this topic because I had a recent bout with feel like giving up. I had a struggle. I had a wrestling moment with feeling like giving up. So a few years ago, I made a decision for myself that I know God led me to make. I decided that I no longer wanted to work in the church. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am a preacher and I worked in the church for 19 years. For many of those years, for at least 17 of those years, I was full time in the church. And I know that God called me to do that work, but I knew that God was calling me to do something more. I didn't have to necessarily do that work in the church, and I didn't feel called to continue to do that work in the church. So I made a decision, and I know that God led me to this decision to work and focus on women beyond the walls of the church. But figuring out how to do this work outside the church has been difficult for me. I'm just going to be honest. I don't have no intentions of, lying or pretending. It's been hard and difficult trying to figure out how to do this work. But, to move the needle forward, in March of this year, March of 2022, I set some high goals for myself. I told myself, listen, we're going to do this thing and we're going to do it. It's going to work or it's going to work. There's no other option for me. So I set these goals to reach by the end of the year. And y'all, it's 67 days. I counted them. There are 67 days left in this year. And, as this year started closing in, I started questioning myself. And I know I'm not the only one, because you're on this Zoom, you're on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube, because you're questioning yourself too. You have some doubt. I begin to feel a little overwhelmed. Like, okay, am I going to make this go? Because again, I don't have a plan B. This is my plan A. This is my plan Z. Right. And I, in all honesty, felt like quitting a few times. And this is just since March. Things are getting hard or had gotten hard. And I would pray to God, and I know I want somebody to put a comment in the chat to let me know if you ever experienced this. But I pray to God sometime, and God don't say anything. I hear crickets from God. Anybody like that? God goes silent on you in some critical moments in your life. You have been praying faithfully, and God says nothing. That's what was happening to me, and so I began to feel like, quitting, letting go, giving up. And that's the preacher talking, and I'm just being honest. But then I gave myself a pep talk. That's what you have to do. And that's not one of my points, but that's what I had to do, because sometimes you have to encourage yourself. And this is where Galatians, again, there's a scripture up there. This is where Galatians came in. And Galatians again says, don't get weary in doing good or doing well, because you will reap a harvest if you don't quit. So I gave myself this pep talk about not quitting. And Galatians helped me do a few things that kept me really going when I wanted to give up. And I'm going to share these things with you if you are at that inflection point in your life where it's important, it's valuable to you to keep going where you're going, and that goal that you set for yourself, you want to reach it. That it is something you are designed, created, or whatever is significant to you. You want to reach that goal, but things get hard and things are difficult, and you just feel like giving up. And if that is you, if you're at that inflection point, listen, I have these 3 tips that are going to help you make it through, because they helped me. Because here I am, day 67 on a countdown to year 2023. I'm excited about year 2023. I'm expecting amazing things. But these things helped me. These 3 points that I'm about to give you helped me to keep going. And so the first point that the first point that I want to share with you that helped me to keep going when I felt like giving up was I had to do this. I had to examine whether my desire for what I wanted was stronger than my doubt of whether or not it could happen, right? I hope that's clear to you. So what I had to do was examine whether the desire for what I wanted, that desire had to be stronger than the doubt that I had about whether or not it was possible. Right. And so if you are doing something, chasing a dream, chasing a goal, going down a path where you really desire to go, and you are at an inflection point where you feel like giving up, you got to weigh it and see if, listen, what will keep you going is if your desire for the thing is stronger than your doubt for whether or not it can happen. And so that is the first point. Now, my desire personally is super strong. And on the days I doubted myself, my desire was so strong that it wouldn't let me quit. It pushed me forward. And I believe the same will happen to you, but you got to have your desire stronger than your doubt. So hear me. If your desire is stronger than your doubt will never win. Your desire has to be stronger than your doubt. So in the chat or in the comment, rate your desire for the thing you feel like giving up on. If you're at an inflection point and you feel like giving up, rate your desire. A 1 is it's a weak desire. And number 10 is it is a strong desire. So let me know in the chat. I'm trying to see in the chat, but I can't do all the things. Let me see. Make sure you like and subscribe. Okay. Yeah. Let me know in the chat if how you rate your desire. Do you have a strong desire? If you have a strong desire, put a 10 in the chat, in the chat or in the comments. My desire for the thing I'm after is really strong. If it's a weak desire or somewhere in the middle, put a 1 or 2, because that's going to determine whether you're going to make it through this inflection point where you're feeling like throwing in the towel. Okay, so that's what I want you to do first. I have my other phone right here. Let me check the chat for a minute. Y'all stay tuned. I want to check the chat to see who's chatting with me, who's talking with me, who's being honest about where you are and all of that. I'm trying to see in the chat. Okay. The chat is going to hold me up. I don't even have time to be here trying to figure this out. Yeah. Okay. So I'm trying to look in the chat. I see y'all. Okay. So the second tip, I'm gonna move on. If y'all rated yourself, I see. If you rated yourself, please put the 1, rating your desire. If your desire is stronger than your doubt, the 1 is your desire for the thing you're after that you're ready to quit on is weak. A 10 is your desire for it to happen is stronger. And I guarantee if your desire is stronger than your doubt, you're gonna make it without question. You're gonna make it. So the second tip that I want to share with you, the second thing that kept me going forward when I felt like giving up was this. Okay, where's my tip number 2? I had to be clear about my why and my who. And you have to be clear about your why and your who, and that will get you over this period. Now, let me say something. For me personally, why am I doing this hard thing that makes me want to quit, that is, making me question myself, that is hard? Why am I doing it? For me, my why is it's my purpose. God created me to do this thing, to serve women and to serve girls. For those of you who don't know, I have not only Defiant Women Win, but I have a nonprofit called My Sister, My Seed, and I use it to fight sex trafficking because women and girls are my passion. Empowering women and girls is something that I'm very passionate about. And so that's my why. My why is this is my purpose. It is the thing God created me for. And I keep going because this is the thing I'm on this planet to do. And living outside my purpose is not an option for me. And so you have to determine what your why is. Why are you struggling through this thing? Why have you set this goal for yourself? Why are you doing the thing that you're doing? Because that is going to help you make it over this little dip, this little period in life where you're struggling, where you're questioning yourself, where you're doubting yourself. So my why is it's my purpose. But you also must be clear about your why because again, it's going to be the thing that's keeping you going. So put in the chat what your why is. What is your why? Why are you struggling to do the thing that you're doing? Hello, everybody. Make sure you like this video and share it. Yeah. So what is your why? Why are you doing the thing that you're doing? I keep checking the comments, y'all. So because I don't want to miss any vibrant comments. But if you want to save any questions for the end, I promise you I will answer any questions. So I'm gonna try to keep moving because I don't want to keep y'all too long. But put your why in the chat. Why are you doing? Why have you set the goal that you set? What is the reason behind it? Why are you doing the hard thing that you're doing? And let me just tell y'all, we can do hard things. We are brilliant, amazing, made it God's image kind of people, and we can do amazing things. But I want to hear about your why. My why, like I said, because it's my purpose. I am purposed to serve women, to serve girls, and doing that outside the church is something that I believe God called me to do. I'm fishing, outside the walls of the church. So you also have to remember, you have to be mindful of your who. And I did touch on this a little bit. So again, the second tip is you have to be clear about your why and your who. And for me, my who are all the women I believe need the gifts and the talents God has given me. And you have to figure out your who. My who are the women and girls that God has called me to serve. I can't tell you how, I just preached on Sunday in Atlanta, and I can't tell you how many women came up to me telling me that they needed that message that I spoke, that God gave me. I can't tell you how many women, were telling me how inspired they were and everything. And I can't tell you, whenever I do a sex trafficking seminar or exercise or workshop, and I tell parents and young girls about a sex trafficking, and I tell them about their self-worth and their love, because that is the frontline defense that girls have against the manipulation that traffickers use. That is impactful work. So the girls and the women that God has called me to serve, they are my who. So who are your who? Who are the people? What is your who? Who are you serving? Who are you doing it for? Who are you doing what you're struggling to do? Who is it for? Now, my who doesn't have to be yours, because let's say, for instance, let's say you decided to go back to school and you did that for, you're doing that because you want to create a better life for your child. You want to, be able to grow on your job in terms of salary, and you need a degree to do that. Whatever your who is, just remember it, because make sure it's on the forefront of your mind, because that's going to help you get through what you're going through. So I want you to put in the chat, what is your who? You put your why in there. I want to hear what your who is. Who are you doing the thing you're struggling to do for? I love nurture and serve people. Amen. Whoever said that, I can't see the names on my screen, but yes, loving and serving people. You have to have a who, because on days when life gets hard, and we have a lot of those days, my team at work, yes. Who are your who? Because that is going to help you not throw in the towel. When you remember, it's not just for you. Like my purpose and people I serve, doing the thing God created me to do, is not just for me. It is for also the people that I serve, the people, not just the women and girls that I serve, but other preachers who want to do what I'm doing. It's for them too. It's for everybody who's watching you and you don't know who's watching you. So you got to understand your who. Okay. The third tip that I want to share with you all, that helped me when I was, going to give up or felt like giving up, was I had to stop. This is a big one. I hope y'all hear me. Where's my third tip at? You have to stop focusing on outcomes and results. The thing that helped me keep going when I feel like giving up is to take my eyes and my focus off of results and outcomes, right? Outcomes and results are out of my control. The only thing we can control is pressing forward towards the mark. That's all you have control of. Doing a good job, showing up, doing the work. That's all you have control over. You have zero control over the outcome or over results. You can't control that. So I see that outcomes and results are up to God. After I put in my best work and I have a strong work ethic and I show up for myself and I show up for my community and I show up for the women that God called me to serve, everything else is on God. Everything else is out of my control. And when I take my focus off of how it has to end, who has to be, how, what kind of numbers am I doing? When it has to be all of that stuff, I lose focus, because a lot of times that stuff doesn't even add up, if we're being honest. And I'm being honest. Yeah. And when you put your focus on outcomes, you can easily get discouraged, because a lot of times what you're seeing, you're not really seeing fruit, right? You're not seeing the fruit of your labor when you focus on outcomes and results. My goal has to be focused on blessing people, blessing women, empowering women. That's where I have to get my satisfaction and fulfillment from, because it can't be, I want this number, or I want this many people, or I want to see this kind of fruit. It can't be that. If I'm focused on outcomes and results, I'm going to be distracted, and I'm not going to be doing the work that God called me to do. You can't be focused on the work God called you to do if you are focused on, how it turns out at the same time. Yeah, put in the work ethic, do the thing, but I think making that your goal is really distracting. And this is why Galatians chapter 6, verse 9 was such a help to me, right? Galatians reminded me that there is a season where you will reap a harvest. So there's a season where again, I'm going to remind you of what Galatians say. Where's my scripture? Galatians says, don't become weary in doing well, for at the proper time, you will reap a harvest if you don't quit. So right now, I'm not focused on outcomes. I'm not focused on the harvest. I'm focused on doing the work. And that will keep you going too. If you don't lose focus, don't eat your dinner for breakfast. Do the work, focus on the work, and then the harvest will come. So we have to manage our expectations, right? Don't desire your fruit before it is ripe. And that's the pep talk I'm giving myself. I'm not going to desire my fruit or expect my fruit before it gets ripe. I'm going to put in this work, and I'm going to leave the outcomes up to God. I'm going to leave the outcomes up to the work that I put in, so it can bear the fruit that is coming in due season. So you will reap. Again, you will reap if you don't quit. So put in the chat if you've been focused on outcomes. If you've been focused on outcomes and not so much focused on just putting your head down and doing the work, I want you to let me know in the chat. Put a 1 in the chat. Let me know. And if you want to expound on that, please do. I would love to have that conversation with you in this chat, because this is about empowering women. Defiant Women Win is a community where women inspire and empower other women. And that's the community that I want to build. And that's the community that I am building. So put a 1 in the chat. And if you want to expand on, whether or not you've been focused on results or focused on outcomes rather than just putting your head down doing the work, let me know in the chat. Again, I want you to know that don't get weary in doing good. Don't give up on your goal. Don't give up on your dream. Don't give up on the thing that you want to do. You got to stay focused and do it, right? And so just in a little review, I want to just go back to all the points, the 3 points that I promised that I was going to share with you tonight. One is, your desire, in order to not quit when you're moving forward, you want to go forward. In order to not quit, you got to make sure that your desire is stronger than your doubt. Remember that. Number 2, you have to make sure that you are clear about your who and your why. I'm going to go back to number 1 because I think I said that too fast. Examine your desires and make sure your desire is stronger than your doubt. Make sure, number 2, that you are clear about your why and your who. Why are you doing the thing that you set your goal to do? Why are you doing it? And who are you doing it for? If you can answer those things when things get hard and tough, you'll keep going, because your who and your why is critically important for setting any goal and achieving any goal. Remember why you're doing it and who you're doing it for. And number three, make sure you are not focused so much on outcomes and results, because again, you cannot control them. All you can control is what you can control, and that is doing the work, being faithful, doing having a good work ethic and focus. That is how you get a goal achieved. You focus. Today I had a goal to create 7 videos and do this live, and after this live I have to do a live Zoom with a friend of mine. And I'm getting it all done. Got the 7 videos done. I'm doing this live, and I'm gonna hop off here and I'm gonna go do her live, because focus in doing the work is what moves the needle in your life. So remember that. And number 3, that was number 3. So focus on the outcomes and make sure that you're not just don't focus on the outcomes and results. Leave that to God. You focus on doing the work. Now, let me know in the comments if this has been helpful to you, because those are my 3 chats. I was only going to keep you on here for a half hour. I don't want to be long, but those are my 3 points. So let me know in the comments if these 3 points were helpful to you. If these 3 points were helpful to you, and also, I want you to let me know in the chat if you have any other specific topics that you are struggling with and you want me to address on Heal, Thrive, and Win Wednesday. Because again, we're going to do this every Wednesday at 7:30. We're going to come on and do some kind of training to help women go forward, especially in these last 2 months of this year. We're getting ready to knock on November's door next week, a week or 2 from now. And I don't know about y'all, but I'm trying to hit the door. I'm trying to hit 2023, chasing down every dream and every promise I believe God has for me. And in order to do that, I'm not going to start when the new year comes. I'm starting now. I'm getting ready now. So let me know in the chat if there's something you want to discuss on Heal, Thrive, and Win Wednesday. Again, I have a special announcement for you. So for those of you who stayed around, don't forget about the free Defiant Women Win swag. I have a book for you. I have a shirt for you. If you signed up for the Defiant Women Win Facebook group, or if you signed up for the or you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you can be in the running to get one of these fabulous t-shirts and my book, a 52-week devotional called Defiant Women of Faith, where I talk about 52 awesome women in scripture. Now, one more announcement before I jump off. We do have 2 more minutes. I want to tell you to go to defiantwomenwin.com, because there I want you to sign up for the Fierce Feminine Faith membership. It's not live yet, but on Black Friday, we are launching our membership. The Fierce Feminine Faith Academy is what it is called. And it is like having Netflix for women of faith. Netflix, you go to, you can see any kind of movie, comedy, whatever, all kinds of movies, but that's the kind of academy Fierce Feminine Faith is. It is for women. I created it because during the pandemic, we were all over trying to find ministry that spoke to us, that, met our needs. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be awesome if we could turn on Netflix or turn on something that we had messages that speak directly to what we're going through? How many times have you been to church and you had an issue and you went to church and you were praying that, the preacher would speak to the issue that you had? Well, I solved that problem with the Fierce Feminine Faith Academy, because it's going to be full. It is stock full of videos, over 50 pieces of video and content that addresses issues women go through, whether it's relationships, whether it's courage building, confidence, whether it's asking for a raise on your job. I cover it all. And I want you to sign up for the wait list, because the doors of the academy are not open yet, but they will be open on Black Friday. And I don't want you to miss the opening. So go to defiantwomenwin.com, get on the wait list for the Fierce Feminine Faith Academy. I guarantee you don't want to miss it. What else did I say? I covered topics like on life purpose. There's the Purpose Finder Masterclass in the Academy. There are over 50 plus pieces of video and content. I know I keep saying that, but I'm so excited about the Fierce Feminine Faith Academy. So don't miss it. Go to defiantwomenwin.com and sign up for the wait list. Get your name on the wait list. So when the doors and enrollment open, you will be the first ones to walk through. Okay, did I forget anything else? Oh, also, if you want to work with me one-on-one, people are constantly sending me inboxes asking me about working with me one-on-one. There's information on defiantwomenwin.com about how you can do that. I coach women, help them get through all kinds of issues, build faith, build confidence, find purpose, heal from toxic relationships, heal from girlhood wounds, childhood trauma, and all of that. So if you're looking for a faith-based coach, I'm your girl. Go to defiantwomenwin.com. You can read all about our coaching program also. But don't forget, y'all, before I sign off, that if you want to get this shirt, if you want to get a signed copy of my book, Defiant Women of Faith, you must be signed up for our Facebook group, and you must subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, I want to thank y'all for joining me tonight. And I will see you all on next Wednesday at 7:30. I haven't decided what the topic will be, but it will be a great one, and I will let you know. All right, thanks everybody. I'll see you all soon.